Hey guys, I just wanted a brief talk about the drug scene in New Zealand. So I'm from Hawke's Bay in New Zealand. It's like a small little, like for America they have states, we have like regions. It's like a small little region in the centre, east coast of New Zealand, of the North Island in New Zealand rather. And yeah, as it goes for drugs in New Zealand, it's mainly just stimulants and then basically just pharmaceuticals from the doctor. Like you can only really, there isn't really any illicitly made pharmaceuticals, but you can find quite a few pills on the illicit market from the pharmacy, sort of thing. And yeah, so there's virtually, in Hawke's Bay anyway, I'm not too sure about the rest of New Zealand, but in Hawke's Bay, drugs like fentanyl and heroin aren't here, pretty much non-existent, especially, as I said, if you're not in like Auckland or Wellington or Christchurch or any of those big cities in New Zealand. You can basically guarantee there's going to be no hard drug apart from MDMA and P or meth. We call it P here for some reason. Actually, it's because it's made from pseudoephedrine, which starts with P, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, so basically the drug scene in New Zealand is basically P, which is meth, or MDMA, or illicit pharmaceuticals, illicitly bought pharmaceuticals. So basically, I have a thing for opioids. So in America, I would be probably taking oxycodone in America. We have oxycodone here too, but it's not very common. The most common opioid in New Zealand is probably morphine, and that's about the only way you can get your thing. Apart from maybe if you find someone with oxycodone, you're lucky. But yeah, morphine's about the only way you can find your thing in New Zealand. For opioids anyway. I quite like benzos. Benzos are quite good. There's some other things like Zopiclones, which I don't think is actually in the US or other countries, maybe Australia, but Zopiclone's quite a good, it's sort of like a benzo. It's like a barbiturate benzo sort of thing. It knocks you out anyway. It does a good job knocking you out if you want to go to sleep. We don't even really have Xanax here, or Prezolam, because Xanax is the brand name, obviously. But a Prezolam is pretty much non-existent anymore. They used to sell it, they used to make it, but they don't anymore. Obviously, weed. I mean, weed's everywhere, basically in every country, So I didn't even mention it, but yeah, we have weed. Weed and meth are probably the two most popular drugs in New Zealand, just from my 5 years of experience. I actually recently just turned 24, so I started really taking drugs around when I started getting headaches, really bad headaches, and yeah, that sort of put me on to codeine, and then codeine was hard to find after I got cut off, after the doctor stopped giving me codeine. I had to find it on the street because nothing else really helped me with my headaches. But anyway, I couldn't find codeine, so I found morphine. And morphine was more common on the street, so that's what I ended up using. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I would not. This video isn't trying to entice you to take any sort of drug, especially opiates. They're horrible when you're coming off them, especially like with the withdrawals. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. It is agony personified. I mean, not personified. It is agony It's agony. It's agonizing. It's hell on earth. And it's about the only category of drug that gives you those horrible physical withdrawals and mental horrible cravings. And obviously you get cravings with other drugs, but it's different. I've never had it with MDMA. I've never tried meth, but I've never had it with MDMA, weed, or any other drug I've ever done. Opiates were by far the worst when it came to withdrawals. So I would not recommend opioids are my worst enemy. Sure, the high is good, but yeah, everything else it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah. I haven't really thought of what the main subject of this video is, but I'm sort of just rambling about the drugs in New Zealand because I actually find it quite interesting. It's quite unique and different from other countries. And growing up, I always thought New Zealand was no different, but I got quite a shock when I started actually becoming immersed into the drug scene. Yeah, there's mainly only meth, but yeah, I've still never tried that to this day. But yeah, thanks for listening anyway. If you found this interesting, fucking chuck a like, man. Chuck a fucking comment and tell me how interesting you found this. And yeah, I'm recording this off my shitty little HP laptop that I have as something to do and sort of a way to let out my thoughts, because something's going to change soon and I'm not looking forward to it, but it might make it easier if I can sort of take that journey and sort of document it. I think I've been suggested that anyway, so I'm going to try it. And yeah, hopefully I can come out the other side, and hopefully the grass is greener on the other side. Anyway,